going to be talking about antibodies for Alzheimer's using an inventive new technique called monoclonal antibodies to treat early Alzheimer's disease. So Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder with many causes, and it's been dubbed the 21st century plague as it's been so drastically increasing in prevalence. And so its main symptoms are really just cognitive decline, difficulty processing information, and memory loss. And it affects majority the older population of people. And so what we're looking at here is something called the amyloid beta cascade hypothesis. So essentially this is a protein that precipitates neurofibrillary tangles in the brain. So essentially this protein builds up in your brain, making neurons more vulnerable to neurotoxic effects and neuron death. And so it's essentially one of the most important biomarkers of Alzheimer's disease, and it's found to precede the onset of the disease by about 20 years. So normally, this protein is naturally sort of produced and accumulated in the brain, but it's cleared out through things like sleep. And if it doesn't get cleared out in time, it can lead to like synapse deterioration, neuron death, as we said, lots of issues. So as you can see here from this figure, that first red line is actually our amyloid beta plaque levels and how they're correlated to things like dementia, so clinical disease stage. And you can see as that's maxing out, so is essentially the stage of dementia. So here also we can see a little diagram, amyloid beta plaques covering the neurons and sort of making them function with less speed, efficiency. So what we're looking at here, as we said, is this new inventive technique called monoclonal antibodies. So these are lab-made antibodies that target antigens just like our bodies do. So the same way that an antibody attacks a virus. And so this is an emerging treatment popularized by a 1984 Nobel Prize winning paper. And so essentially these are lab-made antibodies. And so we can produce and use these antibodies to actually fight off and disperse the amyloid beta plaque accumulation in Alzheimer's patients. So they essentially tag these proteins, sort of mark them for destruction the same way immune system antibodies do. So this has been found to be extremely beneficial with up to a 30% reduction in the decline of clinical dementia rating. So currently there are 2 FDA-approved versions of monoclonal antibodies, so drugs that do this, and essentially they have been really successful at extending the mild phase of Alzheimer's disease and helping slow that progression of disease. So here are my citations.